By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Chris Fine with the whole shot. Burrows gets wadded up right there. We got a nasty one.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back at it once again this time. We're off asphalt. We're off the concrete. We are dirt racing here on Thursday night. It's Dirty Thursday, brought to you by Coleman Designs. Thank them, as always, for sponsoring the series. As already skirting in the qualifying here, Sam Lawson currently out on track for his qualifying effort. John Mockern goes top of the board here. As got in a little late once again. Thursday nights we kind of rush in. Carol's also joining me tonight. Have not heard him in the booth in a minute, but
we're good here, Tanner. Ready to go.
There we go. So, Carol, we're dirt racing tonight at Volusia, a little bit different track than what we've been visiting in terms of where they're going to race at. Right? Last week was Fairbury, super short, tight quarters track. Going to open it up Volusia a little bit. I'm not super familiar with this track. Are you?
I've run probably more laps around Volusia than anywhere else on dirt, and I really like this. Is a driver's track, man. There are some really hard apexes, and you've really got to get the car pointed, almost like asphalt. You can't just drive it around, and I mean, you've really got to find certain points, and then the track changes, and I find this place really fun to get around, Tanner.
Right on. Now, see, I'm just honest, like, I don't remember or recall doing very many races. I know we've done a few, right? I know of one or two that we've done off the top of my head, but so I'm not super familiar with this track other than I know it's not Fairbury. Last week, Fairbury was it was interesting, right? But it was actually really good racing for such a tight quarters track. Because we're actually already in the qualifying here, Carol. Currently watching the Evil Knievel machine of Daniel Sweat out right now, '07. He just went 12th on the board, so going to see if he can get a little bit quicker.
Looks like that car is not handling very well at Volusia. These guys look like they're fighting it a little bit. This lap looks a little smoother, but it looks like those cars don't want to get pointed in the corner, and I think it's going to take a look at that. Look at him fighting that car, even slowing down. It looks like it's going to be really tough to get pointed tonight, and I think that's going to get tougher as the track wears in.
As I agree, as we have a previous winner this season, Chris Smith, going out for his qualifying effort, picked up the race win at Lernerville earlier this season. His second lap around, only 10th on the board. It looks like Scott Smith, number 53, he's just turning a few extra practice laps here as he's going to pull it down now. But his second lap put him P3 on the board. There's something I'm noticing here. See if we can get this place has actually a lot of good cameras to work with. So let's see if we can get a track shot here if I can find it. Something like, I won't show anybody because nobody's on track. But as we have Brad Carver actually on track now, but it does not look like the track is really blown out or rubbered up a whole lot yet. Yeah, you can tell they've removed kind of the top layer of dirt, right? Or it's a little bit lighter, but still a lot of different options when it comes to racing lines, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't know what this track is going to do. I know running here a few times, I've run a few officials here in different cars, and you never know what it's going to do here. It seems to be different every time I've run it, and it's slicking up a little bit getting into the corner there. You can see on the in-car, but this place really wears differently every time. So I find the bottom, I like to run the bottom here, but there's other guys that really like the top, and I think in iRacing, I think this is one of the few tracks on dirt that is truly two grooves late in the race.
That's so I think I ran the middle tier sprints here, like the 360 sprints, I believe they're called, and the Pro Dirt late model. So both middle tier between the sprints and the late models, right? I do remember racing them here now, so I do remember this track. I remember myself being more comfortable on the bottom, but I can't really sling it in and like bang the boards as they call it up there in the high line, right? I'm just not comfortable doing that. But you know they're gonna be out here doing it tonight, right? They do it week in and week out. They never cease to amaze me. Heat races tonight, Carol. So heat race 1, that's going to determine the inside lane. Heat race 2 is going to determine the outside lane in regards to starting position for the feature event. 8-lap heats, so not a whole lot of time when you're turning a 15-second per lap. I mean, you gotta. If you want that pole position,
2-minute race tenor.
Right, you want that pole position, you better let the big dog eat because you don't have a whole lot of time to play with your food, per se. As some heavy freaking hitters out here tonight, too, by the way. In this heat right here, Carol. Let's go to the starting lineup for Heat 1. We'll let you have the honors.
I'm going to call him Monkern. John Monkern starting on the pole. We got Scott Smith on the outside pole. Anthony Rennick has been running good on dirt. And we know the Gold Chain Cowboy, Justin Coleman, starting 4th here. Jason Korn, a vet in this series. We got Jason Bauer, who's kind of new to iRacing. Sam Lawson, the governor, starting inside row 4. And Todd Lamphere starting 8th.
So 8 cars set to determine the inside row for the feature event. 50 laps around Volusia for the feature event. This one right here, like Carol said, about 2 minutes of race. You got about 8 laps to determine who's going to hold down the pole position. As I'll be honest, I got my eyes set for the 81 to get it because Monkern's been bad fast in this series. Bad fast. I know he's itching for that first race win, and what better way to start that night than winning heat race number 1, right? En route to your first win of the night.
Yeah, that gets you the pole for tonight's feature, which is, I think, big at Volusia. If you get long runs, I think guys can pass you, but on a short run at Volusia, I think the pole's a big advantage.
I agree. Although, like I said, I'm kind of flying blind with this track. I know a little bit about it, but not enough about it. Checking out the chat really quick. Governor, he's actually out on track, starting 7th in this heat. He put in the chat, I hate qualifying. Anthony Carr said he's having some PC issues, but he's coming back. Good, Anthony. Glad to have you back. Or for when you come back. And he's picking Jason Korn. So heat race 1, I'm gonna take 81 of Moncurn. Who you taking?
I think I'll go with Scott Smith up there up front. He's a vet on dirt, man. As the track wears in, he gets faster every week.
He's definitely somebody that's really hard to bet against, as they already fire him off. Moncurn gets a hell of a jump out the gate, so it looks like the battle's going to be on for P2. As Scott Smith now gets himself clear. Let's get rid of that ticker for a minute. It takes up a lot of the screen on the side.
Smith running a different line behind the leader there. He's a little bit higher than him entering, and he got a good run on the first lap here, but they've equaled out here on lap 2, and I'm looking to see if the 53 runs low or high right behind the leader here. He's back running the low side now. Look at the run he got there. He's challenging for the lead here, Tanner.
There's a caution. I didn't even know heat races had cautions. Anthony Rennick ripped the nose off that thing, Carol. Let's see what happened. He was battling with Sam Lawson in the corner before, I saw. Oh, just got the car too. Oh. Hey,
That's a hospital trip in real life. He's lucky he's on the sim here, Tanner Meyer. That's a tough way to go right there.
Just got the car too sideways, huh? Slowed down all the momentum and ultimately left Sam Lawson nowhere to go. But yeah, look at the lick he takes right here with the water barrels, sand barrels, wherever they are. Or no tires. They're just tires, outright tractor tires. Yikes.
Those look like pretty hard tires to hit coming to pit road
they didn't have a whole lot of give, did they?
I think those might be filled with concrete.
Right.
I think they don't look like conventional tires to me, but either way, his car took a huge hit and it is destroyed.
The way the hit was, I would rather hit the wall unprotected at the ankle, I believe, and hit those tires.
I think I'd rather hit anything at this racetrack than what he just hit right there. Those things are solid.
As our our laps counting here. That's something we gotta watch. I'm not 100% sure. We just started doing heat races. I believe last week was our first race of heat race. Have you called a race with me yet when they did heat races? Did you miss last week?
Yeah, couple weeks. No, we did 2 weeks, I think, with the heat races. We had to figure it out last week how it all worked.
Oh yeah, that's right. That is right. I like them. I like the heat race. It adds a little bit of length to the dirt night. These dirt guys, man, they get in and get gone in like 30 minutes, man. It's like by the time I fire up the broadcast, we're already calling the checker flag. So I'm glad they added.
They get in and drive the hell out of those cars, and then they get out. There's no saving tires here.
Right. They have to be paid salary because they ain't paid by the hour because they're not milking the clock at all around here. They get in and get it done. All right, going to be 6 laps to go. 6-lap shootout. Going to be Moncurn Smith, front row. Justin Coleman, Sam Lawson. That's row number 2. Sam's up 3 spots, so he's moving. Remember, everybody you pass in this heat, that's 1 extra row you're going to be ahead of for the feature event when it's go time. It's Coleman to the inside of Scott Smith. Going to see if he can get the momentum, but I think Scott's going to have it on the high side as he does get that drive down the backstretch. But look at that. Coleman right back to the inside, not giving it up, going tick-tack.
Yeah, Coleman got in there a little deep, got the car sideways. Scott is working that top. He's the only guy I've seen in the heat race. He's got a few runs at the leader here on the high side, and I guess that's just experience in a dirt car. But he's legitimately challenging for the lead here on the high side.
Look at the governor. He said he was not confident coming into tonight at all. We watched him Heartbreak City at Lernerville, right? Led every lap only to throw it away there last quarter piece of the lap, but going into tonight, 44 is not very confident, but made 3 spots up in the heat. Currently slotted P4, following Gold Chain, Scott Smith, and John Moncurn. That's a good group to be right behind to be learning from.
Yeah, I think if Sam is smart here, he'll figure out what they're trying to do here and learn the line here. He looks like he's running a little bit higher too, the Scott Smith line, we'll call it. But if I was in this race, I'd be following those 3 guys, trying to figure out what I need to do for the feature here. Scott is really on him here.
In there. He drove it in deep on the bottom, but that's all she wrote. Number 81 is going to be starting on that pole position for the feature event tonight. Heat race 1 winner. Scott Smith, Justin Coleman, 1, 2, and 3. As it's already time to get heat race number 2 going. Let's see if we can get the grid pulled up. Now, second heat normally is when SDK goes all to shambles. Let's see, Matthew Keuchel starting on the pole position here for heat race number 2. Kevin Prettyman starting to his outside. Brandon Elvison third. Henry Jones 4th. Christopher Smith is in 5th. Brad Carpenter, Asphalt Brothers, sitting 6th and 7th between Brad Carpenter and Daniel Sweat. So, got a couple Asphalt boys representing in this heat race right here, Carol. Got a few actually. Got Brendan Elvis, Chris, Brad, and Sweat. So, naturally, I got
more than half the field there.
Yeah, naturally, I gotta be rooting for the Asphalt Brothers here. Now, you said this track reminded you of a track that kind of drove like a late model almost, right? You wanted that car to be pointed off straight, didn't really want to be spinning the tires a whole lot. That's reminiscent of what we face every week on Monday and Tuesday nights, right? So, if they can do it anywhere, this is the track.
Yeah, I'm liking that 88 on the top. That's a cool looking paint scheme there.
That is sick. That is sick.
I'm rooting for Kevin here, being new to iRacing and new to dirt, and let's see if he can get it done here.
Well, speaking of which, let's go ahead and give out the Coleman Designs paint of the night here, because I agree with the number 88. Pretty Man has a pretty paint scheme. That 88, it's wicked. Absolutely wicked.
It looks like a dirt race car. It just looks like a mean, ugly, fast race car to me. That's a great paint scheme.
That's the type of car you see show up on an open trailer, and you hear people in the pits. They groan, right? Because they didn't want to race that guy that night. They
Yes.
knew he was probably winning it that night. You show up with
He's got a
skulls
touch
on your
win
car.
here.
You show up with skulls on your car. You better be able to do the damn thing, right? And he's getting ready to prove he can do it on the outside lane. Starting outside, Matt. Now the 17 we saw all season long. He has been on the bottom all season long. That's where he wants to be. Fortunate enough for him, that's where he starts this time. He gets a great launch off. Now it's just the battle zone for P2.
Elvis is really sideways on the bottom there. He got her straightened up. I thought he was going to get Kevin, but good job getting out of it and giving Kevin some space. And Kevin's got a run at the lead here.
He did. He got it off into the corner really, really fast. And actually, the speed kind of hung, right? Normally, you see drivers diving off in there that deep. They lose a lot of speed on exit, but he really didn't. He's right there hounding the race leader. Matt out front having a little bit of connection issue, but
He's there on exit.
He's there. He's to the outside. Is that outside lane starting to come in? As he got really high there. It looked like he even, quote unquote, jumped the cushion right there a little bit, went a little bit higher than what they've been running, but found great momentum off as, oh yeah, we got a great side-by-side battle. Advantage to Kevin that time by.
Yeah, I think that top side is coming in. And in the first race, it didn't look like it's working, but it's working here. And Kevin's going to get the lead on the top here if he keeps this car in his lane. And, the two guys behind him are licking their chops. We got Elvis on the bottom and Jones coming on the top too here. He looks like these guys get together for the win. These guys are looking at a win also. If they touch and get racing hard, these guys could slip by for a win. So we got 4 cars that could win this race with 4 to go.
That's what Brandon Elvis is currently watching on his windshield. He might be secretly hoping for it, right? Hoping they get up there, mix and mingle a little bit, door bang, because that's going to slow them down. It could possibly wreck them, right? And Elvis is going to skirt on by. But look at that. It's still a side-by-side battle for damn near the entire heat. Going to be 2 laps to go this time by the stripe. We go back up front. They're racing down Broadway, and advantage to the 88 every time at the line, Carol. I'm noticing that.
Yeah, the the 17, Keuchel has found something on the bottom. He's fighting back. He was losing ground to Kevin there. Now he's got a bite. He's got him cleared up off the corner.
Slide job. That was a late commitment to the slide job, but Kevin did it. Final lap. This is going to determine who starts outside row number 1. 88, I thought he was going to drive it up in there really deep. He does not. It's going to be a drag race down Broadway here. Advantage to the 17. And the 25 almost got the 88 right there, but luckily for the 88, the start-finish line was where it was because 5 more feet, he may have been starting 4th instead of.
That was a great race, man. That's the best heat race we've had all season there. Those guys
Absolutely.
swapped a few times, and
just kept
that's
swapping,
how you do it on dirt, man. That was awesome.
Just kept swapping it back and forth. As we have a warm-up period now. I forgot about the warm-up that they do for the series. Let's see how long of a warm-up it is. 5-minute warm-up. So let's see if we can dial up a driver. We'll talk to Matt. We'll give you the floor if you want to.
A little bit, yeah.
Matt Keuchel, you got Tanner Marr, Chris Carroll up in the booth here. What do you think, man? Awesome race there we watched, and what's going through your mind? How's the track going to change tonight?
I don't know. Hopefully for the better. Hopefully I can keep that bottom hooked up and we can keep this car out front.
Well, with me and Tanner, we're not big dirt guys. We run it once in a while, but you guys know what you're doing out here. How does that track at Volusia? I mean, I've been here a few times. It seems to do different things every time. How does that track slick off here? Is there certain spots that get slick in a general term, or does it just change every time you're out here?
From the times that I've actually been to the track in real life, it once the bottom slicks, then it's just like everywhere else. You just kind of move up. You don't want to be on the wall, but that top lane can definitely get moving for sure.
With that being said, do you think late in the race in the feature, is there going to be more than one groove, or is everybody going to find one place and try and pass each other?
Expect 5 wide.
Oh God.
We like
Everybody,
that for the broadcast.
Yeah.
everybody is going to be running absolutely everywhere. Tucked
That's
up
amazing.
on that wall to the outside wall. It's going to be pretty crazy for sure.
Well, that's going to be good for us to call. That's good for viewership. We'll take that, Tanner. Got any
Absolutely.
questions for Matt?
I don't. All I can say is good luck to you, Matt. Maybe we'll be talking to you at the end of this thing, buddy.
And I hope so. This is my home track,
I
and
know.
I really want to put it in victory lane.
Absolutely, boss. Absolutely. Well, good luck to you. Maybe you can, since it is your home track, you know where Victory Lane's at then, so maybe we can talk to you there at the end of this thing, brother.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, buddy.
All right.
All right, that was heat race winner number 2, was it? Yeah, it was second heat race, right? It's been a long day, brother. I tell you,
You won heat race number 2, yes, sir.
it has been a long, long day. As now I got to shield a little bit. Let's see if we can find maybe on the music playing one. Right there it is. It's the music playing in the background. Race Chatter comes at you this Saturday night, September 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Live podcast, video cast style show. Myself, Corey Sherman, Dalton Kilrose on this week, and Mark Arthur's on. So it's going to be a hell of a show. Nothing like the broadcast, right? It's going to be completely like you see them down at the bottom left of the screen. It's going to be unleashed. And what that means is there's nothing that's off limits. We will talk about anything and everything. And there'll be weeks where you probably hate us. There'll be weeks where you might love us. And hopefully there's weeks where it's in between, right? Again, it's going to be Race Chatter coming at you live on TrueSimProductions Saturday night. It's going to be weekly, by the way. So also something cool, Carol, about Race Chatter. We're doing fan submissions, meaning if you have a real-life racing clip, an iRacing clip, be it a photo finish, a crazy wreck, say your friend Arca braked into a wreck and just killed the field, submit the clip, and it can be featured on Race Chatter each and every week. Little peek behind the curtain. I know there's 2 or 3 clips in right now involving drag racing this week that Brian D sent in that I know is going to shock some people when they see it. Just anything nutty, anything funny, anything racing related, we will take it. Again, that's Race Chatter coming at you live this Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, live on TrueSimProductions YouTube channel.
That's just another reason to subscribe to all of your stuff, Tanner. You guys are trying to get to 500 subscriptions, and I mean, I'll be playing pool on Saturday, but I will catch it as soon as I'm done. I can't wait to see some of those clips, and I can't wait to see what you guys got upcoming there.
It's cool to have something like this that is unleashed, right? Because, like I said, on the broadcast, we got to be a little bit more buttoned up. So, although I don't want to say you don't see our real side, you see our real side kind of turned down a little bit, right? Well, Saturday, you'll get to see the full side of us, right? You'll know us 100% by the time Race Chatter is done. It's gonna be about an hour and a half long show. There's really no limit to it, actually. It's gonna go as long as we want to go, right? But now it's time to go through that grid and quit shilling here as sitting front and center, John Monkern in number 81. He is tonight's USAFirearms.com Poll Award winner. Matt Keuchel is going to be starting P2. Scott Smith in third. Kevin Prettyman, number 88, won the Coleman Designs. He'll be firing off in fourth with Justin Gold Chain Cowboy Coleman starting fifth.
We got Henry Jones. I don't know much about Henry in 6th, and the Governor in 7th here. We got Brandon Elvis, who I thought he was going to be higher up in the order here, starting 8th. Jason Korn starting 9th. That's pretty far back for him. It's going to be fun to watch him come up through there. And Chris Smith starting 10th. Jason Bauer 11th, and Daniel Sweat. Man, he's back there in 12th.
God Lanfear, Brad Carpenter, and Anthony Rennick, who we saw have malfunction during heat race number 1. A big malfunction, actually. A huge hit. So glad to see they got that 23 car back rolling again.
They're in the backup there. He's gonna have to do it the hard way tonight.
Absolutely. Well, folks, it's going to be one more time around, and then we're racing 50 laps here at Volusia. Let's see if we can pull up some race details really quick before they do get anything rocking and rolling. So you see the track right there, track length, a little bit under half a mile. I'll still say this is one of the bigger style short tracks, or bigger style dirt tracks on the sim, right? In my experience, this track races bigger than what it really feels like. Can you attest to that, Carol?
Yeah, it feels like a super speedway in these cars, but at the same time, it's got really hard apexes. So
Right.
It's tough to get around.
It's just like long straightaways, really wide corners, but really sharp corners, if that all makes sense. So bundle all that in together, and you have Volusia Speedway, right? As green flag is off, 81 car. Don't waste any time. Puts the car out front, goes right up to the high side. So it looks like the high side is where the 81 wants to be. We know Matt, the 17, he wants to naturally be down low, but currently forced up to the high side. Got Scott Smith charging to the inside, trying to take the race lead.
Yeah, he got a really good restart. He got second place cleared, and he is after the lead here. He is digging on that bottom. We got a 3-car race for the lead. We might be 3 wide here in the next lap or 2. Smith is really pushing it down there.
He is. Smith is digging on that low side. You see everybody's digging. 3 wide, middle portion of the field. We heard Matt say, how many grooves are tonight? You'll see 5 wide at times tonight, right? As a broadcaster, it makes me excited. As a race admin, it makes me scared. So hopefully we can find a happy medium. Maybe only 3 wide. Maybe that's about as far as we need to push it tonight. Track is plenty wide enough, and I know there's enough talent out here. A little bit of carnage in the back. I think Brandon Elvis got a little bit of a shot from maybe teammate Coleman there. And almost to the outside wall. At the front,
they're racing hard for the lead. You go back through the middle of the field, and they're racing harder here. These guys are legitimately running 3 different grooves out there. And you see the Governor, he's in the thick of it here with Elvis and a few other guys. And, you know, I like watching this. I like sitting up in the broadcast booth, not being stressed out, watching these guys go door to door and watch the dirt fly.
Absolutely. It's a lot more calmer up here. Look at the 25 and 14, still side by side. We got to go back up front. As it looks like Monkern's opened it up a little bit sizable lead over Scott Smith. So that's not something we're used to seeing with the 53. He's usually not the one chasing, right? He's normally the one being chased. So a little bit different situation for the 53 car here right now.
Well, Korn and who's that in third? I can't see the car down the back there. Is
Matt Keuchel.
Keuchel, yeah, him and Keuchel have been battling a little bit there, and you know, as you battle, you don't get all that racetrack used up, and the leader's starting to get away a little bit here. I'm sure they're both wanting to sort this out so they can get after the leader here, but it looks like 2 legitimate different grooves. Look at the bottom groove. Look at him work that wheel as he tries to ease into the throttle, and the 53's losing a little ground up top. So I mean, these guys need to get sorted out, or Monkern's gonna get away from them.
As I'm going to turn the audio up real quick, I'm going to lay out and just let you folks listen to the pure throttle being worked here. It's actually pretty sweet. As just take a listen to this.
Yeah, I like to listen to this, Tanner. This gives me a lot of info what they're doing.
You hear he's all the way off throttle for just a little bit now. If I have Carol too loud, I'll have to work with his audios again to get him sorted back out. So just bear with us on that one. If he is too loud, just let me know. But so that audio right there, that tells me there's a lot of off throttle time here, Carol. A lot of time spent just kind of letting the car float through the corner. And now that's also, I mean, we were witnessing that with a 2-car battle, right? They're side by side going door to door, so you can't, like you mentioned, can't really use all the track. You can't get after it all the way. But still, a lot of throttle play happening out there, trying to get that car to rotate and then settle and then go.
Yeah, that track is getting worse and worse. You can see the middle groove starting to slick up a little bit, and these guys have finally got it sorted out here. We're going to find out who's fast in the long run, and they lost a little bit of ground to Monkern, and they lost a little bit of ground to Kevin here. Prettyman running fourth, I believe, there. So these guys have sorted it out, and we're going to see what groove is dominant here as we get deeper and deeper into tearing this track up.
It looked like freaking Brandon Elvis had a trailer hitch with the 25 right there behind him. I think the 25 legit not only bumped him down the straightaway, I think he shoved him down the front straightaway last time by. That was pretty cool to see. Hey, look at that. You got a lot of guys are migrating up to the top. We are seeing that now, but still different lines out the track. Look at Matt. He won't give it up. 17 is going to stay on that bottom as long as he can, and it's very impressive on iRacing because we always see the high side be dominant. Shoot, damn near every track we visit, right? So it's awesome to see a guy come out here and refuse to make that bottom not work, and he's making it work right now.
Well, being his home track, he might know something that these guys don't. You know, maybe he's saving tire down there. Maybe he wants this real bad. So I can't see him running. Oh, as he moves up to the top here. Oh, Kevin up underneath him, almost a little contact there. That's good racing.
They got so close, I thought Netco was getting ready to intervene right then, right? That's how close they got, but no contact between them. I mean, Kevin did everything but go up there and kiss his door, basically.
I find the net code on the dirt isn't as bad. I don't know why. The hit boxes are better. The contact is better, and you don't see too many instances where a guy spins out from net code. It just pavement seems to be much worse. They've got something figured out on dirt.
Apparently, we got the new damage model on Xfinity this week. You read that in the patch notes?
Oh, I've been playing pool, man. I haven't read anything.
Core Mod's got it. Apparently with Xfinity, it's supposed to be better because you won't lose engine power anymore, right? So that'd be pretty cool.
I like that for sure.
And Dirt, of course, got that big revamp last build. And I think Asphalt's looking at a big revamp coming up. I thought it was happening this time, but it's not. Kern County just dropped. That's what made me think about it. Was Anthony Carr from the chat says Kern County's gonna be a blast. I think it is too. It looks to be a fun track. And right here though, looks to be like Monkern's done a lap or 1,000 around Volusia because he is just hooked up and in sync with the way the track is right now. He knows exactly where he needs to place that right rear tire at for maximum grip. It looks like as lap after lap after lap, he's continuously slowly but surely pulling on the field, catching a little bit of lap traffic here, catching the tail end of the field though. Will this play a factor into tonight's event?
Absolutely will, but he looks like the class of the field right now. Looks like these guys are, if they're matching lap times, they're definitely not catching him. But you know, Scott Smith here will have something up his sleeve late in the race, and usually about right now is when Smith's car takes off, and we'll see if he can run down Monkern. But Monkern's looking really smooth out there.
And now I will say we've seen it week in and week out ever since the update with the dirt tire wear. The guy that's led most of these races has not won these races, right? So is the 81 using up that right rear a lot? I can tell you his pace is faster, so naturally he has to be using up more tire. But I mean, he could, like you said about Matt a while ago, he could know something about this track that saves tire. Takes it to the low side this time.
Here comes the 53 of Scott Smith. He's sneaking up there through the traffic. He made some time. I thought that was right
traffic. I didn't even realize that was Scott.
No, sir, that is Scott Smith. Just like we said, as the run goes on, he usually gets stronger, and I think that Keiko's on his way too. All of a sudden, he looks like he's getting closer to Scott. So we might be fixing to have an awesome finish here and watch these guys racing out. And then yellow.
That's gonna. Oh no, Jason Corn's involved. That's gonna change everything because now Scott don't have to clear no real estate. Right, he's there. This looks all the makings to be nasty.
This looks painful. I'm not gonna lie.
3 wide.
3 wide at Volusia. We know it doesn't work now.
Riding on board with the middle car, Jason Corn, Henry, and then Chris Smith. That's the second bumper we saw get ripped off, but that one just magically went back on.
3 cars running out of room coming off the corner. Yep. I don't know what to say.
Just runs out of real estate right here. Tough break for Jones there. Just kind of escaped by the hair on his chin is look at the 80 car. He is crab walking if I've ever seen it.
Those
Tires
cars are
pointed
big.
to the right, but the car's pulling to the left. I promise you, that's not fun to drive, and you get mad driving a car like that, especially after being in a wreck. It's a tough break for Corn, Smith, and Henry Jones there, but I think Jones is going to get away with less wear than the other two for sure.
Yeah, he did a good job on the top there. He's a victim in that circumstance. I mean, you can't have anywhere to go, and
Nope.
he's just praying when he hears the contact they don't get him on the way by. And it's hard racing. There's 20 to go, and these guys are trying to get 2 for 1 there, and it didn't work.
As Anthony's telling me, Dirt in the update also got it to where they can blow tires out and stuff now as well. So
Wow.
that's interesting. It's good. I mean, that's what it should be, right? We're getting every build. I know they tear stuff up, right? They seem like they go 2 steps forward, 3 steps back because they usually mess up something goofy and dumb, right? But they are getting closer and closer, I think, to real life each and every week. Is oh my goodness, John fires them off.
Monkern is on it early. He's not
Yes.
fooling around. He wants this win bad.
He went so early, he actually drove through the tail end of the pace truck right then. So he was ready to get going. They saw the 53 starting to catch him right then. And knows he's got to try to do anything he can, try to set sail on the 53. As there's 18 laps to go already here at Volusia. And Scott Smith, I think I think he might be actually better on the long run, but now we'll breed cautions here. Everybody looks to be playing nice, but that can all change in the blink of an eye here on Dirt.
Within the next 5 laps, nobody's going to be playing nice here. There'll be 10 to go, and these guys are getting at it. But I'm really watching the top 3 here. These guys legit are running that bottom with a chance to win, and we know how bad Keuchel wants it, so we're coming down to a great finish here if this stays green. And if I was the 81, I'd be going early too. I don't want Scott
absolutely.
Smith anywhere near me with 10 to go. That man is a master on dirt.
If I'm the 81, I'm controlling restart. I'm playing every game I can think of. Every game I've ever seen on a restart, dude, I'm going to try it. Right? I'm going to try everything I can as a leader to get that advantage. But yeah, I know Matt, the hometown boy, he wants to win at the home track. And I know that because I was that way with Nashville, right? That's the one race. We all want to win every race we're in, right? But the home track makes it a little bit more sweeter. So Matt said he's watched thousands of laps go around here.
Matt might get a win here. These guys touch doors for the lead. He could squeeze a hole and come home with that win. He's in a good position here, and these guys are going at it. This is going to be awesome coming down to it. We saw this in the heat race, and there was 2 grooves, and there might be 3 grooves out there now. So this is gonna become a great race. And here comes Smith on the top. He's got that run. He might clear him going down into 3.
John's going to drive it off in there almost like a mini slider line, but that's something you're noticing right here. No sliders, no door banging. You're seeing utmost respect between the race lead right here as advantage to Scott Smith this time out of turn number 2. New face up front, the 53. Now the 81. He becomes the chaser. He has to try to go get Scott.
The 81's got to learn what Scott did to him. He's got to learn what he did to him and do it right back here with 11 to go. And the more these guys get racing, the more the hometown boy, he gets in a little closer with a shot to win. And we know in these cars, all it takes is a door and you slide by a guy.
I know the race is only 50 laps, so when I mention tire wear, a lot of people might think I'm crazy, but I promise you, on dirt, the tires wear so much faster. It's like double the amount of the asphalt, right? Because they're not slick tires. They're groove tires out there. They have tread on them. So they're burning that tread off lap after lap after lap, and the grip, it dwindles lap after lap after lap. So did the 81 in his process of getting out to almost a full second lead, did he ask too much out of that right rear, that left rear? Or are they overworking a little bit?
If he did, he is not letting Smith get away. He is in his tire tracks. Usually you see a guy pass another guy, he's way faster, but Monkern is right there. He's sitting there waiting for 2 to go here to make his move, I think. And you know, these guys are a little bit more nose to tail this time, and they're getting a little bit away from Keuchel here. And here comes Monkern back for the lead here. He is looking for it on the bottom.
Scott's running that middle lane. He's blocking the slider lane, basically. I mean, for Monkern to make a slider stick there, he would have to drive it off a mountainside, right? Because Scott is running that middle lane, not really giving a whole lot of options to the 81 to try to shoot straight across the track, which is needed for the slider, right? So Scott,
Well, I
he's a victor,
like that
man.
lane, Tanner. He's defending right now, but the last lap, I think Monkern's going to take that door to him and slide right on by. He's going to be careful here.
You gotta be careful. I mean, Scott's not doing anything wrong right here, by no means. He's running that middle groove. Brad Carpenter might bring out a yellow. As yellows on the speedway.
No.
That's not what we wanted to see.
This was getting awesome there.
Heavy. Oh, he parked it.
I don't think he could steer it. That thing's pretty tore up on the right front.
Just get too sideways on him right here.
Yeah, it looks like he lost it in the slick here. And watch, he gets hit right there, that right front. He probably can't steer it. Yeah, there it goes.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh, my God, that car is twisted up. I feel for Brad there. I'm not laughing at him. That's impossible to drive.
A scary situation, too. You hear, leaders are 3 seconds back, too. So they're coming, right? So you're trying to get out of their way and everything.
Yeah, he did the right thing there. He got it off the track, and I think he tried to keep it going to not cause the caution, but that thing wasn't going anywhere.
If I'm Scott Smith, I think that caution helps him right there. We saw the leader get going here. It takes about 2 laps for the guy in second place to catch back up to the leader, right? So this may be exactly what Scott needed, because I think they were getting ready to be full elbows out, contact style racing before that caution came out right there.
Yeah, I think Keuchel didn't want to see that. He wanted to see those guys start banging some doors, and I think this is a big disadvantage for him. So I think Scott will get out there, but I think Monkern has shown the speed that he can get up there racing. Does he have enough time to get up to him with 3 to go? We're going to find out here.
Now is the time when the checks start getting rode out, right? Time to
There's only one lap that pays, Tanner Moore. Yep. It's the last lap. So we're fixing to see anything they got right here.
Who's the check going to, though? Like you said, it's just being rode out right now. They don't have a name on it yet.
If it gets wild here, I think the top 3 or 4 rows have a chance. We know these guys on dirt. We've seen it before. They get pretty wild come to the end of the race.
Right. So I've learned to expect one thing on dirt, and that's expect the unexpected. As green flag is out, Scott gets a great launch. John did not really. Having to battle the 17 to the inside. May have been a little contact right there. That actually hurt the 17. He had to slow way up to stay off of him.
Monkern is there, though. I didn't think he'd get there this early, and he's setting something up right here with 2 to go. White flag.
White flag out. Got to do it this time. Final time down the backstretch. It's all the 53 machine, Scott Smith, but Monkern's there in 81. Will he try to pull a slider here? Too far back, I believe. He is indeed. It's all the 53 for the final time out of turn number 4. Scott Smith, big time race winner for the Thursday night Coleman Designs Pro Dirt Late Model Series. First win of the season for number 53 as well.
Yeah, that was a really good win for Scott there. He made a nice move for the lead, and we only really had a chance to follow the guys up front because that's where all the action was, and we got to see it all unfold. I mean, that was a really good drive from Scott on the top there, and he got some really, really good drive off late in that race. It looked to me like he was just pointed where he needed to be in the last 20 laps of that race. Awesome run for the top 3, really, Tanner. That was pretty good racing up there.
Absolutely. To sum up the sum up the top 3 right there would just be fast. I mean, they were just bad fast.
It looked to me like the top 2 were the class of the field, and I think Keuchel was looking for that lane to open up on the bottom, and I think the middle lane was just a little bit quicker late in the race, and he was just waiting for those guys to get racing, and then the caution came out. So not a real big play for Keuchel to get the win there, but really good points night and really solid veteran race from him.
Absolutely great points night for Keuchel right there. As we're actually going to pull him up. We got to hear from him before we went live, or before the race went live. Now we get to hear from him again, Mr. Matt Keuchel. We brought you up another middle conversation, so I apologize for that. But third place finisher tonight, brother. You got a copy?
Yeah, buddy. Let's go.
So Matt brought it home on the podium once again. I feel like every week you're coming up here talking to us, so that means good points night for the 17. Talk me through your night here at Volusia.
Yeah, That's what, 2 out of 4 now on the podium. We'll take it. Just tried to keep that car going fast. The bottom was really good. I really enjoyed it down there. Tried to move up, didn't work. I saw John and the 53. They were running a lot quicker out there, but I just couldn't make it work. So kept her on the bottom, and man, we were cooking there.
You absolutely were. I've said it week in and week out. If you watch these broadcasts back, I can tell the 17 feels most at home and most comfortable on the bottom, which is a testament to how fast you can be, because that bottom lane's usually not the preferred lane at some of these dirt tracks, right? So going into a track like Volusia, was you trying to make that your bread and butter? Because I noticed you did have to migrate up a few times tonight, but you still stayed committed to that bottom.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if I couldn't improve on what the top 2 guys were doing. Tried to run what they were running, and I was just way too out of control. So figured, well, let's just keep it on the bottom. She's quick down there.
Right on. You put her down there and you let the girl eat. Got a heat race win, and then you finished it up with a podium finish. So we got to thank for the 17 tonight, brother.
Yeah, just thankful for everybody here at Crooked Line. You guys that broadcast this, and keeping that Mac Daddy Dale McDowell paint scheme up front. That's what I'm here for.
Right on, brother. Well, congratulations on another podium, another solid points night for you.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely, boss. All righty, Carol, I'm gonna let you take the final 2 as you have the second place driver, Mr. John, up in the booth now.
John, do you have a copy here? You got Tanner and Chris Carroll up in the TSP booth.
I got a copy. How's it going, guys?
Not too bad, man. We saw a hell of a race out there. A bit of a heartbreak for you. I gotta ask the question: did you use too much right rear tire up as you were leading, or do you think Smith just found a groove late there?
Actually, at the end of the race there, I had 65% on my right rear. I think I saved. I don't run a rearview mirror. Never do. Never have on dirt. So I didn't know what he was doing. I was trying to reach out to teammates and people to help me, and they were helping as much as they could, being a little far back. But yeah, I got to give it to those guys. He's running middle, he's running high, he's running, low, and he found something around the outside there, was able to make a good pass, and just racing me clean the whole race. But no, I thought by letting him by, maybe he'd torture that right rear just a little bit more than me, and it'd come back to me. And I thought we had something there for the end. I know I come down in and pitch Matt there a little bit on that restart, but it's the only thing I could do to try to get back at him. And
well, that's racing, man. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do to defend out there, and it looked to me like your plan kind of worked. I'll be honest. As we watched that race, I thought when Scott got by, usually when a guy gets past another guy, he's gone. He's a lot faster, and they get some distance. But it seemed like when you were running behind Scott, like you found a groove, or maybe that right rear came to you, and I think if that caution hadn't come out, you guys were going to be 50-50 who won that race.
well, I tried to tell Brandon Elvis there, there's cool down periods to your tires with the dirt. It's really cool that iRacing's doing it. Thank you, iRacing. Thank you guys for broadcasting this. But there's cool down periods, so I felt I ran really hard there around the lap cars, and he was definitely faster. I don't run a rear view, so when I saw him clear me on that right side, I was like, well, I'll just see what he's got. And hey, he won it. He great racer and ran me clean. All the guys out there, and thank you to everyone out there for running good. And was hoping for a green to checkered, but hey, we'll take what we got.
Hey, Tanner Marsh says if you guys keep showing up, he'll keep on putting races up. So, I mean, we had a great time watching that. It sounded like a lot of fun out there. Who do you got to thank on your car and whatever else? I'll give you the floor here. Anyone else you have to thank out there?
I got to thank CLR, you guys for broadcasting. Always in the broadcast, watching you guys on the asphalt side. I haven't got the courage yet up to run with you guys on asphalt. I'm just saying. It looks like a lot of fun.
Brother.
It looks like a lot of fun. Just haven't got there, but I appreciate you and Brandon Elvis and Justin for getting me into this. And I mean, we can't do this without everyone showing up and you guys. I mean, it's why we do what we do. It's why my kids watch us. They're gonna be tickled. I finally finished the race.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear right there.
But I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely, boss. Congratulations, buddy, on the run. Mr. John Mockner started home P2. Ended up leaving Volusia sitting third in the points of the points battle, Carol. It's getting hot and heavy at the top. And now it's time to talk to the race winner. So let's see if we can find him somewhere out here. I've got him for you. The floor is yours.
Scott Smith, Tanner Marr, and Chris Carroll up in the TSP booth. You got a copy, sir?
I sure do. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. We watched a hell of a race out there every week. Every week I watch this, and every week we broadcast it. I have more fun. You guys are incredible on dirt there. I don't understand some of the stuff you can do out there. It makes me feel like a fool. But walk us through the pass for the lead there at the end, Scott. That was incredible to watch.
Well, early on, I was saving tires big time. You know, I figured 50 laps. You know, it's going to kind of take it easy for the first half of the race, and kind of search around, kind of feel where the line was moving to, and so I moved to the middle for a little while, and that felt pretty good. And then I went down to the bottom, and then I really caught up to him. I went back to the middle. I knew that middle was gonna kind of stay there, and you kind of keep the momentum up. And he seemed to follow me down to the bottom earlier, so I thought, I could probably just stick to the middle and walk around him. And sure enough, it stuck. And
well, you guys put on a show there. I mean, that was a showcase to what dirt is on iRacing. It was, you know, for me, not running dirt too much, just trying to keep up to you. I feel like a fool running behind you, but I'm learning every time we do it that when you were running the slider line in the middle, you were you were sliding it up to the center, and we were saying just before that caution came out, like, that's a great defensive line, and you know, it looked like John found something there too. Do you think you could have held him off there, and you think he'd have used the door to get by you at the end there?
I think I could have held him off. He was really fast. I was a little worried that I used up my tires, but I thought, you know, I held off quite a bit for, you know, the first half of the race. I thought, well, maybe I have enough tire, but he was definitely fast. I was a little worried when that caution came on. I'm like, oh no, so I wasn't sure how that the restart was gonna go. And
well, it seemed right too, Scott. It seemed like, I mean, when I run dirt, usually the leader gets a big jump, and it's real hard to try and run him down. But it seemed like the guy in second could make up that ground within a lap or two, and you guys are back to racing. Did you have a plan? If he got to your inside, did you have a plan to hold him off?
No, not really. I just was kind of winging it. I thought if I could just kind of try to keep my momentum up, I thought maybe I'd be all right. But I didn't want to give up that line, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was a great race to watch, man.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Well, that was textbook, man. That was textbook showing us that come in here that are new how to do this. So, I mean, I really appreciated what you guys did out there. I think a lot of people, you know, they think they're just racing out there, but you're thinking your way through, and I learned a lot watching you guys out there. So congrats on the win, and who do you got to thank on your car tonight, my man?
Well, of course, Side by Motorsports, my team, Jason and Josh, and we've got another guy that's coming back to iRacing here real soon, our buddy Steven Culbertson. So looking forward to having him back. That's about it, really. It's just three of us right now.
Incredible. Well, I'm going to throw it back to Tanner Marr here. Congrats on the win. We got to close up shop here at TSP, and enjoyed watching that one.
All right. Well, thank you guys for putting this on.
Absolutely, boss. Congratulations, old man. And I like the Smurf picture, too, by the way. Like the Smurf picture. All right, guys. This is Scott Smith, tonight's race winner. He came and he saw and he conquered. Very much so. Let's see if we get the points pulled up really quick. Get that going. Cabal going. Pull the points up for you fine folks really quick as we see Justin Coleman leaving Florida with the points lead, the series lead. has a 12-point cushion over second place Matt Keuchel. John Markern sitting third, so hell of a points night for John and Matt. John jumped 3 points in the standings. Matt jumped up from third to second, so always good to be moving up the list when it comes to the point standings. And let's pull the results tab up here. And any final thoughts, Carol, before we get the hell up on out of here?
Well, I just really enjoying broadcasting this series, man. It really showcases how good these guys are. Only a couple of cautions and some amazing racing up front tonight and last week. Every week we come here, I think we saw the best race of the season, and tonight definitely was. I mean, I wish that caution hadn't come with 5 to go, but what a treat to watch these guys. And if you ever drive dirt on iRacing, it really, really shows how good these guys are. And I mean, that's all I can really say, Tanner, is I'm in awe of what these guys can do on dirt.
They put on one hell of a show week in and week out. That is for sure. Let's go through this top 10 really quick. You got Scott Smith, John Markern, Matt Keuchel. That's 1, 2, and 3 for the podium. Brandon Elvis, Asphalt Guy, putting it in the top 5, finished 4th. Samuel Lawson, the Governor, 5th. Gold Chain Cowboy, Justin Coleman over at Coleman Designs, brought it home 6th. Kevin Prettyman, 7th. Henry Jones, 8th. Daniel Sweat, 9th. And Anthony Rennick had heartbreak in Heat 1. Bounced back for a solid top 10 finish. Solid points night for the 23. So I know he's going to be happy about that. And folks, I'm happy we're done broadcasting for the week. So tonight was the final one for the week. We'll be back at it. Sam will actually be back in the booth tomorrow night, though, calling the front row esports next gen series. I think where we're going, but we're racing Kansas tomorrow, so that's going to be a banger. Gonna see some low line, middle line, high line, banging the boards, asphalt style tomorrow at Kansas. So tune in there as me and Carol, we go from being commentators to drivers. So hopefully we can do what Scott Smith did tonight. John Marker finished right there 1-2. But for myself, Tanner Marr, Chris Carroll in the TrueSimProductions booth, and until next time, we'll see ya.